You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
Cracks within the Trinamool Congress Party is getting wider and visible ahead of the 2021 Bengal Legislative Assembly elections. On 17 December, former Minister of Transport in the state, Suvendu Adhikari, who's been the face of Nandigram protests, which practically catapulted the TMC into power for the first time in West Bengal in 2011, resigned from the party amid speculations of him switching over to the BJP. A day later, 5 other district-level TMC leaders also handed over their resignations. And the list of disgruntled TMC MLAs and senior leaders who are speaking out against the party is only growing longer. What is triggering the in-party turmoil? What does the loss of TMC heavyweight Suvendu Adhikari mean for the party? And what does the BJP have to gain from it all ahead of the upcoming elections? In this podcast, you'll hear from the Quint's political editor Aditya Menon. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. And I'm your host, Shalpuri. Home Minister Amit Shah is scheduled to visit West Bengal in the coming weekend, and the buzz around this timely visit is that the BJP means to induct Suvendu Adhikari into the party. One day before Adhikari resigned as the MLA at a public meeting in Kuch Bihar on 15 December, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee accused the BJP of trying to poach senior party leaders like Subrata Bakshi and Rajya Sabha MP and Birbhum District President Anubrata Mandal. The Telegraph quoted Banerjee as saying, and I'm quoting her, quote, "It is surprising that they've called up even some of his senior leaders like Subrata Bakshi and Anubrata Mandal. Leaders from Delhi had called them and sought meetings with them. Both have declined. This exposes the BJP's desperation to engineer defections." End quote. In fact, reacting to Adhikari's resignation, party MP Shogata Roy, who's been trying to reconcile Adhikari with the party, rushed to say that his resignation has nothing to do with ideology but his desire to be the deputy chief minister in the state. A Times of India report quoted Mr. Roy as saying, and I'm quoting him, "I don't know what the BJP has offered him. We knew where he was headed. This does not come as a surprise." End quote. While that was what Mr. Roy said, BJP National General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya termed this as the quote-unquote beginning of the end of the TMC. But whether the BJP has had a hand over Mr. Adhikari's resignation or not, his exit is definitely a jolt to the TMC. He's been conducting independent rallies without the TMC banner since May before resigning from all his posts in November, and he's also said that he's been feeling sidelined from the party, and some reports even quoted him as saying that the TMC is now a quote-unquote one-party organization. And as we've said before, Adhikari, having been the face of the anti-land acquisition movement in Nandigram, has a fairly strong support base in Midnapur as well. But how much can Adhikari's move cost the TMC? Given that he was one of Banerjee's trusted aides, can it be considered to be a big loss? Aditya weighs in.
Suvendu Adhikari leaving, no doubt, will be a major loss. TMC will not be able to sort of ignore if he leaves by saying that this person didn't have any support on the ground. There's no, I mean, he's not a political lightweight. He has contributed immensely to the TMC's growth, especially in the Medinipur region. The TMC will obviously lose out if in case Suvendu does leave the party. But there are also limits. I mean, the BJP and rather BJP supporters are presenting it as if it would be the end of the TMC, which is not quite the case. For two reasons. First reason is that TMC, in that sense, is a personality centered party, and a lot of the TMC's popularity is also Mamata Banerjee's popularity. And none of the leaders who has left the TMC so far has made personal allegations against Mamata Banerjee. So, in that sense, it does seem that even they are apprehensive of openly criticizing her. I mean, that would mean that her personal popularity might still be intact among voters, even though the party's popularity or that of party leaders on the ground may have sufficiently reduced. So that's one reason. The second is that in the case of Suvendu Adhikari, a big proportion of his core supporters are also Muslims. So it is unlikely that he'll carry those supporters with him. And he also may lose some of his own political heft if he decides to go with the BJP. If he decides to leave the TMC and not go with the BJP, then that's a different matter.
What is also concerning is that Adhikari not only has other TMC members rallying behind him, but there's also generally a lot of disgruntlement amongst TMC leaders. Soon after resigning from the MLA post on 16 December, as per reports, Adhikari headed to meet Trinamool's Burdwan East MP Sunil Kumar Mandal, Asansol Civic Body Chief Jitendra Tiwari, and Diptangshu Chaudhary. And these leaders have also publicly spoken out against the party in the recent days. A report on NDTV quoted Jitendra Tiwari saying that whoever expresses displeasure towards the functioning of the party is asked to quit. And commenting on Adhikari's resignation, Sunil Mandal, who's backed Adhikari's decision, observed that there's a drift within the party. But what is it that's triggering the mass rebellion within the party? Well, a lot of the TMC veterans seem to have expressed discontentment over the party's functioning, some of which directly have to do with political strategist Prashant Kishore's involvement in the party. In July last year, the party had roped in Prashant Kishore and his firm Indian Political Action Committee, or IPAC, to help the TMC ahead of the state elections. Kishore and his team had earlier led the BJP to victory as well in 2014 and in the recent times Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi. But TMC heavyweights have been lashing out against what they call a quote-unquote outsider agency which is trying to teach them how to do politics. They feel that leaders don't have control over the party anymore. In fact, ex-TMC MLA and current BJP leader from Kuch Bihar, Mihir Goswami, who was with the TMC since its inception in 1998, was one of the first ones to complain about Prashant Kishore calling the shots. And he had said, quote, "This is no longer the party of my Didi. She's inactive and that is why her people are no longer required here." End quote. While Kuch Bihar Sita MLA Jagdish Chandra Barma Basunia backed Goswami on this, TMC MLA from Barakpur, Shilbhadra Datta, also raised a similar concern. And some reports also speculate that even in the case of Adhikari, his perceived discontentment towards the agency was one of the primary reasons for his eventual resignation. But in all this chaos, the BJP has everything to win. Like in some of the states in the south, the BJP is extremely keen on expanding its presence in West Bengal, where it's viewed as an outsider party. And in the past year, it has made some phenomenal gains. With the help of star campaigners like Amit Shah, Smriti Irani, Yogi Adityanath and PM Modi to counter the TMC support, from 2 seats in 2014, the party managed 18 seats in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. And amid fears of large-scale defections, is the in-party turmoil likely to spoil TMC's chances in the upcoming state elections? Does the BJP stand a good chance in the state now? Back to Aditya here.
Obviously, this exodus from the TMC into the BJP will harm the party's chances in the election. There's no denying that fact. It is sending the signal that this is a sinking ship, and that's why people are quitting the party. When also at one point of time, maybe when Mamata Banerjee first came to power in 2011, she was, obviously the tallest leader in the party, but there were other leaders also who had their local bases and who also played an important role in the party. And so therefore, the signal could be that now she is sufficiently weakened. But it's also true that especially in a second term, power got centralized to a much greater degree, and the influence of these other power centers also reduced, and it became much more dependent on her personal popularity. So because of that, it would not be right to say that TMC is where the left front was in 2011. The left had almost completely given up the battle about a year before the elections. That's not the case with the TMC right now. Mamata Banerjee's own popularity seems intact, and also she is fighting back. So there is obviously the fact that the TMC is weakening because of these defections, but it's not a complete implosion as the BJP may want to present.
If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.